Hello, everyone. When I go back several years, maybe even decades, in my early clinical development career, I had an encounter of maybe not the third kind, but maybe the fourth kind with my boss, who asked me to set up a clinical development plan for a specific pathogen, a new vaccine candidate that would protect against the disease affecting babies in their first 3 months of life. I thought immediately, well, if we want to protect these babies, knowing a little bit about immunology myself at that time, I thought, why don't we immunize the pregnant women at a specific time? I did my literature research. At that time, it was already known that tetanus neonatorum was a problem that was being addressed by giving tetanus vaccines to prevent this from happening in the neonates. And it was very successfully used already there. However, this knowledge was not widespread in the community of clinical developers. I did my literature research. I presented this to my boss, who then said, Frederick, you want to immunize pregnant women? Are you nuts? And she made up a whole list of problems. In reality, what I saw after leaving this company, moving towards another company that was actually having a maternal immunization program, Group B strep, at that time, I encountered some of these problems. We solved them. I encountered other problems which were unanticipated by myself and others. We solved them too and moved forward quite nicely. What I wish to say is maternal immunization is one of the most important parts of clinical development of new vaccines that need to be considered. And I strongly encourage you to think about this if you are a clinical developer in this field of vaccines development. It's not just one clinical study that you do. It's part of the way of thinking in terms of immunology. At Atama, we have one lesson in the orientation course of clinical development of vaccines included, where we provide knowledge from two programs, compare them next to each other, and take lessons from these two programs. I invite you to join us on the Atama page at Atama Academy. Have a wonderful day.